right, welcome back to Mixed Greens. I'm Judy.
I'm Erica.
Thank you for tuning in again. We appreciate the listen, the love, sending everybody listening positive vibes just for listening.
Yeah, thanks.
So, okay, I just left those stressful ass kids.
Mm-hmm. That were delightful not delightful, but hilarious to me.
Yes, okay, so they're okay kids, you know. They're not fun kids. Because there are kids that are totally fun. They go and do stuff. The
like
little
Bronson
neighbor boy.
seems fun.
Oh, Bronson is fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I've been watching him for a while, like when he was like 2.5.
And he's cute. That helps.
Yeah. And he's only had like tantrums like a handful of times.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, he's barely 4 now.
Okay.
So, anyways, yeah, he's super cool. He's fun. But these other kids, like, they're stressful. They're not fun.
Mm.
They're whining all the time. There's something wrong. They're freaking out. One of them's freaking out over bees, over bugs, like any bugs. And she's screaming at the top of her lungs. Okay, this is another thing, too. A couple weeks ago, or at the beginning of the month, I went to Palm Springs with those kids. And so it was a girls' trip.
Okay.
Girl cousins. So all my cousins would go, and
were they the only kids or
no?
Okay.
Everybody takes their kids. I took my kids. Okay. It's just moms and kids.
Okay, that's good.
So this trip was like awful. Like we did have some good times,
mm-hmm.
but there are so many little kids just like those two whining. So imagine those 2 little kids plus 3 more all whining.
Right.
Oh my gosh, it was so annoying. And they're all older moms, so they're like so not only are they older moms, but like I was talking to a friend. This is something like I kind of wanted to talk to your mom and like see her perspective,
mm-hmm.
because and it's not all older moms are like this, but from what I see, most of older moms are a lot more tolerant of things. If you have a kid after 30, you are willing to tolerate a lot of behavior that you just don't have the energy.
Right. I see that, and I also see like them babying those children a lot more and kind of keeping them a little too close to home. Like my son Jaden's friend, they don't let him do anything. They don't let him out of their sight. They're always like, he's 13. They're like, oh, no, don't do that. Be careful. No. They're still telling him be careful. And I tell my kid be careful. We all tell our kid be careful. But it's like, come on, look at the kid.
Not overly cautious.
Right.
Yeah.
So I see it. But he's also a good kid. I don't really see him.
Yeah, like these kids are all smart.
Mm-hmm.
And they might not be assholes later. But right now, they're all assholes.
Overprotective. Parents.
I wouldn't even say like, well, yes, her mom is like overprotective and like paranoid. She even says that she's paranoid, but
now I do have a amount of paranoia that comes with letting my kids out of my sight.
But still, like so these kids, so I'm just traumatized, and I had 3 kids in 4 years.
Okay.
So like I had to quit my job because it would have been too expensive.
Okay.
You know, just that's why women go on welfare. You know, It sucks that, you know, and right now she's having a hard time finding someone to watch her kids. A, because they're kind of out of control, and B, because she's a single mom.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's like, what am I going to do? Like,
and it's like nowadays, like everyone has their own life. Like nobody's just sitting around.
I don't know. That's kind of how we are in our family. Just like stay home as much as you can with your kids. Somebody will help you, or you take them to a family member's house. You know? So that's what
you're very fortunate to have that.
So anyways, I just like, and then being around those kids again, it's like I get PTSD.
Okay.
Like from having my own kids. Like I went through the shit like in my 20s when I had the energy. And,
right. You're like, I'm done with that shit.
And yeah, because you have to play with your kids. They get bored. So especially if you just have one kid.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
You have to play with them. Like you have to get up off your ass and go play with them. You don't sit down at the beach You don't sit down. Right. You go play with him. So, and that's your life for the next 5 years.
Even longer. So, do you know who Amanda Sills is?
No.
Okay, well, she has this podcast. I forget the name of it right now, but she did an episode about only children. And I guess she's an only child. And she hit the nail right on the head.
How do you spell Sills?
Seeles, I think. So she's a comedian, actress. She does like a lot of things. She was in Floetry for a hot second.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how that happened, but I mean, she really hit the nail on the head saying like how independent we are and just talking about like the difference in being a loner and wanting to be alone and being perfectly fine alone and like you can only take so many doses. I mean, not like you can only take so many doses, but you can go out and socialize with people, but then you're like, well, you're ready to go home, and the way you choose your friends, and just she hit it on the nail. It was pretty interesting, so should check that out. And she talked about one thing she did talk about is saying, "Oh, you guys are selfish. Oh, you guys are selfish," and that's not necessarily true. I don't know. I'm just perfectly fine, like being in a quiet room, and I feel like people that come from larger families, they're not really used to it, maybe, or they probably appreciate it, but it's not, maybe, I don't know. I don't want to say it's not a necessity, because it probably is a necessity, but I don't know. I don't even know how I started talking about that.
Children, only children.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and then even if you have, like, a sibling that's older, if they're 5 or more years older than you, then they see each other differently. Like, not...
Definitely.
Yeah, like,
more
not
like a...
Instead of
maternal rather than a sibling.
Yeah, instead of peers, more like you like you said, you take care of them.
Are you 5 years older than?
Yeah, than 3 of my siblings. Okay. Yeah, and we even have a different relationship. I saw this meme. It was hilarious, and it said, I don't know, said how firstborns are always angry.
Right.
And it was a tweet, and somebody replied, "Yeah, because we had to take care of kids we didn't make."
Right.
I was dying. I was like, oh my God, that's so funny. But yeah, my relationship with my younger brother and sisters was very different. Like, for a long time, like, I don't know. It's like they'll confide in you and they'll, like, go to you for advice.
Okay.
Before, like, my parents, yeah.
Well, that seems okay to me if you're giving them the right advice. If you're not a fucking idiot.
Yeah. My parents did stop talking to me one time because they said I gave my sister the wrong advice. My advice was to her, get the fuck out. Oh. Get a job and move out. Mm-hmm. And now, what is my mom trying to do now that she's almost 30?
Trying to get her to get the fuck out.
Get a job and get the fuck out.
Oh, wow. And how long ago was that?
Oh, when she was like 20.
Going at this?
Sure.
At least it's Mike's.
Yeah, right?
It's pretty harsh, though. I don't know why.
That blunt you packed that you gave me last time, that was pretty smooth.
It was the same type of wrap, so.
It didn't... Well, I think maybe because my lungs were healed. Because, like, this whole show, my, like, lungs are all fucked up, and I've been trying to, like, heal them.
Yeah, because you used to cough a lot more in the beginning.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know that's just to make me cough anyways.
Yeah.
But I built my lungs back up.
How?
So, I think it's my liver. So I think, and then I was just doing more research and also my adrenals. So there's this guy, medical medium, and he's like holistic. And so basically, if your liver, like, you know, like part of homeopathy is that if something in your body, like I have that cough, instead of taking cough syrup, it's just a sign of something else going on.
Okay.
Yeah, instead of taking Mucinex to just get rid of it, it's actually trying to find, like, because it's just a symptom of something deeper.
Right.
So instead of getting rid of the symptom, you find out what's
the root cause.
Yes. And I think ultimately it's my liver. And then because I also have dry skin, and if your liver can't process,
is your skin yellow?
No, it's not. It's not that bad. Like that's jaundice.
Right.
But it could be mild, and you could probably be close to jaundice, and straddle that border for who knows how long. You know, and never get jaundice, but always be
right on the border, or right above the levels.
Yeah. So or it won't come out yellow, because you could also get itchy palms. So when I was pregnant with one of my kids, I got this thing called Cooliostasis. What happens is, well, actually, I got it with my second, but I didn't know it. It was just very mild. And what happens is the baby pushes on your liver and inhibits the functioning.
Okay.
So you really have to, like, boost it up.
Okay.
And you boost, how I boost it by taking milk thistle capsules.
I knew you were going to say that. Because you told me about it before.
Yeah, so milk thistle capsules and lots of greens.
Okay.
So,
and how often do you take the milk thistle?
You have to take it at least 4 times a day. I was taking it 5, it says 5 to 6. I thought it was 4 to 5, but I just looked at it and it was 5 to 6.
Okay.
So that my hands were yellow. I would drink over a gallon of water a day, and my pee was still yellow.
Okay.
Yeah. So I wasn't peeing I was peeing, but it was it was still yellow. And so I told the doctor, I was like, dude, like this is going on. And they're like, oh no, you're fine. So my homie told her doctor, like, oh, my homie's got this. He's like, oh my gosh, I think she has Cooliostasis. She needs to go to the doctor right away. So so 2 doctors of mine were like bullshit and didn't even know what was up. So meanwhile, I just healed myself.
Oh God.
So it's like, which directly relates to people having to self-medicate with marijuana, having to figure out your right dose.
Right.
It doesn't matter whether it's weed or prescriptions. Like, ultimately, doctors
they're always playing with your doses.
Yes. So.
And putting you on medication, taking you off of this, and trying something else.
Remind me to get to the story about my mom and the doctor. Okay. So, my mom has bad lungs. And so I'm like, well, maybe I was just inherited some,
some weak ass lungs.
And I need to heal my organs, like my kidneys and my liver, like alcoholic grandparents and shit. So, I don't know. So, by the time I went back to the doctor, like the next day, they did blood work, and so that's another thing. They have to do your blood work first and find out. So, I had already, after one day, of taking 5 pills, my pee was back to normal. The itching went away. So I was like, dude, this milk thistle really works. Okay. So that's how.
And then how long did you do the regimen?
Until the end of the pregnancy.
Oh.
And it wasn't even that long. It was like a month and a half.
Okay.
And normally the procedure is to have the baby.
Oh.
What do you call it? C-section.
Okay.
So, and there you go again with medical doctors, so anyways, not knowing shit, so you have to figure it out.
It's like,
and by the time,
absolutely true, because every time I go to the doctor, they have nothing to tell me.
Yeah, that's why I don't even go to I've been to the doctor recently for my kids just because they really jacked their legs up or their wrist or something. So, so once your liver starts working, then these other symptoms, your body is able to get enough the water to your cells.
Okay.
And then also with your adrenals. Another thing that I found out with your adrenals is that if you have a traumatic experience early on in life, your body won't function the same.
So it absorbed.
That
gland absorbed.
Yeah, absorb the pain and the fear, I guess, and so.
And what does the adrenal gland? What's its function?
They produce the hormones that help the body control sugar, burn protein and fat, react to stressors like a major illness or injury, and regulate blood pressure. 2 of the most common adrenal hormones are cortisol and aldosterone.
So probably if it produces that hormone at such an early age, you had to produce so much because of that traumatic experience. I'm kind of making this up, but it kind of makes sense.
Yes.
Like, you might have just raised it to a level that it can't even go back down, I guess, to say.
And then...
So now you're always going to have high levels of this because...
And think about the way that we eat. So if we are eating crappy already, then we're just keeping ourselves sick.
Yeah.
So it's almost like...
I'm thinking about changing. Like, I feel like I eat okay, but I feel like I could do a lot better.
So, yeah. So, because it's related to your skin, also your nail and your health. Your hair.
Oh, okay.
So he's saying, like, he has this diet, like, even if you're bald, like, if you start, alopecia, like, how to fix alopecia.
Okay. So this is kind of funny that you said that. Like, so when my husband was off, I was making a lot of green smoothies. I was, like, putting a lot of greens and fruit in it and putting, like, flax seeds and chia seeds in it. And he swears his goddamn hair grew back from eating the damn smoothies.
Oh my god!
I mean, he, like, really, like, it grew out for real. Like, he was still, like, bald, but even, like, little hair was coming. Because he is bald. Like, little hair was coming.
Yeah.
He liked it all. He liked that shit, too. I was like... He was all brushing it every day and shit.
Like Marsha on the Brady Bunch.
Then he started looking like, I don't know, oh shit. What's, oh god, I don't know why I drew, oh goddamn blank. Anyway, he just had like a gang of hair. It was so sad. I was like, you gotta cut that shit. Looking all old and shit, like, hell no. Like, put a hat on. Don't you dare go out the house looking like that. You know?
Yeah, so, like, it's all, so anyways, it's all related, and, so like I said, my mom has bad lungs, and that's why I've been following this diet. Like, you're supposed to, like, limit the, amount of fatty oils you get. You're just supposed to eat a lot of greens, a lot of vegetables and fruit. And then it's saying, like, you know, with all these diets, like, we're so afraid of, like, we're just thinking about carbs, and we don't want to, like, we're so afraid of, like, potatoes and, you know, pineapple, because it has so much sugar in it.
Oh, okay, right.
You know, but like, those things, it has a lot of sugar, but how your body digests it, it's not going to, like, I mean, unless you're already super unhealthy diabetic, then yeah, maybe.
Right, stay away from that.
But. Yeah, it would. But once you get yourself under control, like, your body just digests it different. Yeah. It's able to, you know.
I mean, I don't think it takes any convincing that what you put into your body is how your body is going to react and how healthy ultimately you are. So, I don't know.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, people freaking get cancer, are healthy as fuck, and then you still get cancer and shit. Like, that, it does happen. But if you have, like, an ailment, so that's
you have all these toxins building up that you don't need.
And that's what it's like, arthritis. So my arthritis, like, both my grandmothers have arthritis, and say arthritis is just a buildup of, like, lactic acid in your joints. And so that's also why I like to do yoga, because you have all these glands, and my sister has a thyroid problem. So, like, so what's healthy, I was researching thyroid, what's healthy for thyroid, like, something to do is to jump up and down.
Oh.
Get a little trampoline, and it helps
circulate.
Yes. And so I'm like, dude, like, and I've been doing yoga for a long time. It's like, that's exactly what yoga does. Like, you're upside down, and you can just really feel the fluid, like, everything just moving. Because even still, like, walking and exercise, like, that's still good, but, like, you know.
I've never done yoga.
Oh. I'm, like, yoga freak. Like, I totally believe in it. I think everybody should do yoga. But, like, that's me. Like, I'm just super, and I'm super, like, cliche Southern California. I'm so cliche.
No, but that's okay, because it's all natural. It's not forced, like.
Yes, like, spiritual vegan that does yoga. Like, I'm not religious. I'm just spiritual.
Right.
So, anyhow, like, so my mom, like, she has had these like horrible lungs forever. Like she has sleep apnea. Like she thought she had a heart attack. Like all this crazy, all this crazy stuff. Like she also like not very healthy too. I mean, I got my eating habits from her, which is why I like had to totally change my whole. So well, her and my dad. I'm not gonna. Anyways, she had been going to the doctor. She got sick. Doctor prescribed her all these drugs. Long story short, the doctor that she had been prescribing her all these drugs, and the side effect is having bad lungs.
Dummy.
So he was like, she said that he was trying to kill her.
Right.
And I think, like, shit, I wouldn't even doubt it, because I guess an incident happened in the doctor's office. Like, she thought she was having a heart attack or something. And then she came, like, she survived that. She comes back, and the nurses in the office, like, were like, oh my gosh, they gave her a hug. Like, we couldn't, but like, when we saw you, we didn't think that you were gonna be alive. And when she was in the hospital, the emergency doctor was like, your doctor didn't do anything? He didn't send you in an ambulance or anything? She's like, no, he just told me to come over here.
What?
Yeah, so she was like, he was trying to kill me.
Hey, she should talk to a lawyer or something, because that was kind
of negligent.
Yeah. Malpractice like a motherfucker.
Yeah. Anyways, so I'm like, God, like, so now,
right. And now then people don't even,
she doesn't need an inhaler anymore and all this stuff.
But people don't even also research the medication. People always trust the doctor.
Yes, we're taught to like trust the doctor. Approved by Dr. Mom. You know, I'm sure there was a time when you could trust the doctor, but not anymore.
My doctor offered me, he said, one day he goes, I'll prescribe you anything you want. I was like, I don't even like taking pills, but thanks.
Yes. There's like a lot, like so many stories of people that go to the doctor, they have a stomach ache, and they're prescribed like oxycodone or, you know, crazy shit like that. Like,
maybe not for a stomach ache, but
yeah. When they go, that's what I'm saying. That's why I said stomach ache. They're prescribed,
they'll give you
like
anything.
What is it? Okay.
And then my kids had a doctor that wouldn't give you shit. He wouldn't even give you vitamins. Do you take the flu shot?
No.
Me either. Then I get mad when my husband takes the kids to the doctor and comes back with a damn flu shot. I'm like, damn, don't you know I wouldn't have gotten them a flu shot? Like,
yeah, no way. Let's see. Fentanyl.
Oh, shit.
Fentanyl.
That's bad.
That's what it is.
That's bad. We talked about fentanyl, like, on one of our first episodes.
Yes, that's what I'm like, what the hell is it?
It's worse than heroin. They're mixing it with heroin. You can also get it prescribed by the doctor, I suppose, right?
Yeah. Vicodin. I remember, like, when I, one of my jobs, I, like, fell or something, they sent me to, and they just, like, gave me Vicodins, like,
right.
It was nothing.
Yeah, they don't care.
Yeah. So, anyways.
Yeah.
They do not have your best interest in mind. Like, I'm sure most people are aware of that. But anyways, like, if you're into trying to heal your kidney, or if you think you have, like, weird symptoms, medical medium. He's got a lot of cool stuff, like soaking your cucumbers in water for over 3 hours. Completely infuses the water with the nutrients of the cucumber, and your body digests it better than it would
if you ate it. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, I've done the cucumber in the water, which is terrific.
Yeah.
I fucking have rehydrated myself off of a drunken night off of some cucumber and water. Like,
it's so good.
Yes. So, yeah, look into that. I'm going to look into it. I have some milk thistle at the house that I've never tried. But that's why I used to like watching the Dr. Sebi videos, even though he used to kind of sound like he was kind of off the deep end.
Yeah.
Like, he was really speaking a lot of knowledge, and should listen to him. I don't know. I bought something and I was scared to eat it. It was like some kind of moss that you were supposed to blend in the blender with like whatever, vanilla, soy, whatever you want, or whatever.
Yeah.
Almond milk or whatever. I was scared though. It was some kind of moss. I was like,
I figure if I need like real healing, if I had something like seriously going on with me and I needed to eat that, then I would. But for the most part, like, I'm pretty healthy. Like, I had my blood test and like I absorbed nutrients.
Passed.
Yeah, so I'm like, and my ancestors like didn't eat like all that crazy shit, because there's also like local, so I'm like, I'll just eat. My ancestors ate corn and potatoes and squash, so it must be good for you.
Right. That was one thing like he was talking about though, that like the sad thing about Africans in other countries is that we don't have what our ancestors lived off of. Or maybe we do, but we don't have everything that they had, and we don't even know what it is.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, like what?
Like, oh, we think it's collard greens. No, it's not collard greens. It's this bush, this berry that we don't have over here.
Yeah, it's what you were given. Like, you didn't have a choice in this situation.
Yeah, that shit. This whole shit is stressing me out. Actually, like, just thinking about what African Americans are going through right now, and what Latinos are going through right now, and what Muslims are going through right now, and we've been going through it, but it's just like, it hurts right now. Like,
yes, it does, and I just can't imagine like somebody that is okay, like what, like no matter who you voted for, because like we said, we've talked before, like I fully believe that Obama is just as guilty as Trump in this whole situation. And it will slow, like it's already coming out, but he's just so damn charming, you know? So, how can you be okay? How can you be okay with children?
It's kind of like humanity. Where's the humanity?
Like, do you not believe what's going on? Like, do you not, like, I don't understand. Like, and quite honestly, I don't want to. I really don't care to, because that, I just feel like if you're okay with it, then that means you have a degree of hate in your heart. Like, your heart is black. Seriously. So, you have, like, even if it's just a little pinhole, like.
So what are you saying? You don't want to care?
Like,
what are you saying?
I don't care to hear why you're okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
With the detention centers, the immigrant detention centers.
So how do you feel about like immigration then in general?
I feel like everybody should be able to come here. I feel like the system is messed up, and that's what it comes down to. Not the people, not who's coming, why they're coming, because we all know that America went out and butt raped the whole world.
Right.
They're still doing it. So, of course, they have nowhere to go, so they come here. Then when you hear the same people that are okay with this are also fear going to these people's countries, because they're scared that something's going to happen. Like, we'll die if we go to that country. It's so crazy. Okay. So
I don't know if I believe that fully, but
well, maybe there's some
white people go to Mexico in a minute.
Well, they'll go to the resorts,
the risky ones, the adventurers.
Yeah. So, anyways, yes, exactly. So, well, yes, there's always like crazy. Like, I went to Mexico, and I took weed to Mexico. So, what the fuck does that say about me? You know, but
well, it means that you're not afraid to travel to the country.
Yeah, so anyways, it's just like when you hear people saying that they wish that they would go back home, they'd rather live in the streets than live in these places. Like, I was taken away, and I've said this before, from my family. My sisters were taken away. It was a traumatic experience for me.
Right.
And this is another thing that I want to point out too, is that this kind of shit has been happening to American citizens since the history of America.
Right.
Okay. But now technology, we're able, the spread of information, you're able to see, like, this is not And now there's like, I feel like there's this, like, it's starting to gain momentum. People that are just tired and over it. Hell, like
I saw that on the internet the other day. Some mom was in jail for like 5 years. The dad was raising the son, and the courts gave custody to the mom, and they're ripping this child out of the dad's hands, and they're both crying, and it was kind of fucked up.
Yes, it is. And what about all the children that were missing? There's already so many children that are missing. Mm-hmm. There's like pedophiles working for these detention centers.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They've given the children to some sex traffickers or some shit like that.
Yes. Like, we already know that there's so many black children missing from Washington, D.C. Mm-hmm. We already know that hundreds of thousands of black people were missing from Katrina. Not only that, but also executed in prison. There's records of executed in prison because of Katrina.
Oh, and I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, research that. Yes. Yeah, okay. So we already know that these kids are going missing. We already know like all these things.
And we're the only people talking about it.
And really. It's still, so you're still, if you're okay with that, like how can you be okay with that? And it's so scary and it's so sad, like that these kids have to go through, that my son is affected by it. Okay. It's crazy. Like you see these headlines, okay, but I'm an American citizen. Mm-hmm. Like my family is from Texas. You know, we're not from deep Mexico, like central Mexico. So like that, it's kind of like, if it's like we were white people, like, or you know, how would this affect us?
Right.
So his friend is moving back to Mexico, and he just found out today. I haven't even talked to the parents, but it's because he said it's because he's not an American citizen. So my son's friend is not an American citizen. Mm-hmm. So which means the mom is not, the parents are probably not citizens.
Right. So are they just choosing to, or they're getting deported?
I don't know.
Okay.
And I wouldn't doubt if they were choosing to.
Right.
To see what's going on in these detention centers.
Right.
Well, like I said, when you have women saying that I'd rather live on the streets, that's scary. Like, I probably would move back rather than have that happen to my child, you know? Like, the thought of them taking away and losing him, God knows what they do to these children.
What do they do? Where is he? When am I going to get him back? Am I going to get him back? It could be years. You never know.
You'll never see your kid again.
Right.
No, who knows if you'll ever see the son again?
I couldn't imagine.
They stay in these detention centers. There's
I was like, they don't even have toys.
No, they're in cages. And there's a mandatory detention number. Since 1988, there's been a mandatory detention number where there has to be a certain amount of detainees in these detention centers at all time. So they can go, and you hear there's
a minimum.
Yes, it can be months. Who knows how long? And this whole time, we're supposedly we're paying for all of this. The GEO Corporation.
Oh God.
Donald Trump just donated, or he donated all of our money to build the Walmarts that are now turning into camps.
Oh my God.
All of this stuff. It's just, so this poor guy, like, my son met him at the beginning of the school year. He was shy, like chubby.
Okay.
And now he skates. Gave him a skateboard, told him to come hang out. So now he skates. Like, at first he did not want to skate. He was very intimidated, but then he just kept doing it. And and yeah, so he got stoked on it. He's hanging out with homies now. He slimmed up even. Okay. So
getting this exercise on.
Yeah. So to see this kid like just kind of blossom, and all these boys have this relationship, and then now they're never gonna see him again. The kid lives across the street.
I could see a family just saying, "Fuck this shit, let's just go." Like, it's too stressful.
Yes.
You have to look over your shoulder every day and worry about every fucking thing.
guess what? We live in the fucking racist ass city that's trying to sue over SB 54, which protects these immigrants. So they also have that fear doubled on top. It's not right. Like that America is a land of opportunity.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden now you want to say no. Now because you live here, because you live here, you want to say no. If these, like, I saw the perfectest meme or like tweet or something. If all these people are rapists and drug dealers and they're taking your jobs, what the fuck do you do for a living? It's so
right.
How can you be okay with this situation? It's disgusting. It's quite honest. It's just it's disgusting, and I just feel so bad because I have to, like, man, dude, I had to tell him, like, dude, I'm so angry that you live in a world where your friend, a good family, can't live across the street and feel safe. That they have to go.
Shame.
That it.
Because the bigots.
And not just that. What's gonna happen to them after this? Poor Angel with his chubby, fatty liver. Those weirdo Hollywood pedophiles would eat him up. They'd drink his blood.
Oh shit.
Oh my gosh, it's just so, yeah, it really, like, it's kind of bothered me today, and I think that's, you know what, that's why I'm pissed off. Like, that's why I'm salty. That's why I'm mad at everybody, kids whining and shit. Oh, so why the fuck are you whining? You didn't have to just move to a different country. Damn. Should be glad you're an American citizen. It's like, that's why this country is so great. Just fucking let them motherfuckers stay here. They're here anyway. They're working.
That's the part. That's the part.
You can't get a job. That's on you.
I do feel like, no, we can't just let everybody come over here. I understand, like, oh, it's cool, but it's not cool, like, economically.
But you know what? It's not cool economically if we deport all of them.
Or if we keep them in camps for however long.
Things don't
and
happen.
How much more is it costing you guys to keep the kids separate from the parents? Now you gotta have somebody take care of them.
We're not gonna... Yes.
It's stupid.
Exactly. Which is why, oh my gosh, they go missing. Probably executed them all so they don't have to take care of them. It's...
With their foil blankets and shit. That was...
What the hell is that? Like, seriously?
That's an emergency blanket. For, like, an emergency kit.
Yeah. Yeah, solar blankets, right?
I don't even think it's a solar blanket.
So just
I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy. I don't know what to do, but yes, there does have to be a way for them to come in. Okay, number one, stop going and messing in other countries. Okay, because actually, we just had the anniversary.
Yeah, I'm letting you vent.
Oh, okay, yeah. So it was the anniversary of their Civil War. That happened because America went and meddled in the country's business.
Whose?
Guatemala.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So anyways, like, yes, I'm mad. I care deeply about what's going on in this country. I have cared for so long, and I feel like people about my age and a little bit older, like, care.
You said less.
Yeah, I feel like they're just, like, less motivated. Maybe like they do care, but they're just, like, less motivated. But I just pray, and I'm just like, hopefully the youth just changes shit around.
Definitely.
Like, yes, like, definitely, because and like I said before, like, I feel like our kids we're doing it right now because our own children are way more tolerant human beings.
They're tolerant, and they're watching us, and they're watching this generation that's older than us, and they're like, this doesn't even make sense. This doesn't even make sense.
Yes.
Like, I don't feel like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a crazy thing is, like, all United Fruit Company. They're the ones, like, under this whole guise, they started meddling in Mexico and Central America, trying to get all their just basically get free labor, organize their governments just so that, like I said, for free labor. It's essentially they're trying to create this whole slave system there.
Yeah, that's like when my mom was talking about like all the evangelists going into all these countries and trying to convert people to Christianity. It's like, what the fuck? Mind your own goddamn business.
Yes, why don't you take care of your own?
Right.
There's so many places in America that are like third world countries.
Yeah. Yep, we never take care of our own. Take care of Detroit. Take care of Chicago.
Yeah, right? Flint still has no water. Still. So, I don't know.
But meanwhile, I mean, it's not funny, but I kind of think it's funny that all these other countries are like, okay, well, fuck you then. I mean, it's not funny because, I mean, we need China. We need Canada. We need these places.
Why? Like, that's like, why do we, like, we're America. Why do we need these places? Because we went and had all this shenanigans. Trying to mess around. And then, and I was like, that's also why we're so worse off, because all of our money is like going in lawsuits. This city wants to sue California. They can't even build their youth center, like take care of the park there. Kids hanging out at Starbucks and McDonald's because there's nowhere else to hang out.
Damn.
But let's arrest the immigrants because they're the ones. Oh, but so shout out, and like I was saying, like people, the youth, what's her, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. Have you heard of her?
No, maybe.
Okay, so just recently, she, Democratic Socialist, she won a seat in the House. She ousted like a long-term guy, Joe something.
Okay.
Joe
What state?
Schmo, crooked politician. New York.
Okay.
In New York.
Okay.
She didn't take any, she was a bartender. She's a mom. She beat the incumbent, Joe Crowley.
Mm-hmm.
Just like Bernie Sanders. She didn't, and this, like I said, I've been Bernie today. If y'all wouldn't have just sat on your asses and fucking laughed at Bernie, all of y'all was laughing at Bernie. Oh, you're crazy. Bernie's crazy.
I wasn't saying that.
He's a socialist.
Who was saying that?
But then, like, he'll never win. We're not gonna vote for him.
It was him against Hillary, which made it easy for Donald.
Like, but really, like, but should that have even been a question? And then Bernie or Hillary?
It was, and then because yes, it had to be.
With Hillary's background versus Bernie's background, is there a question?
I'm sure. Yes.
Like what? What kind of question?
I don't want to get into this Hillary bullshit with you.
Okay,
Hillary,
so I just think she's just
you.
so horrible. Like, anyways, yes. She's like,
right? Because I'm like, actually, you almost made me start defending Hillary. I'm like, wait a minute now, hold on. Like, I'm sure that obviously there's questions, or she wouldn't have won.
Weird fact: Hillary is the first woman, like first white, first lady or whatever, to have her portrait in a pantsuit.
Oh.
In pants. Like,
far as...
I mean, if that's... Every other first lady has taken a photo.
Okay, as far as... I was like, what position? I was like, what are you
First lady.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but that's the best thing she's done. Like, is that even a good thing? She wore a pantsuit. Come on, like, that's a fashion photo. Like, you can pull off a pantsuit, just not that way. But, so anyways, Alexandria, she won. He outraised her in a 10-1 margin.
Oh, wow. I thought you were going to say something like she didn't take...
Yeah, she didn't take any money from corporate sponsors.
Okay.
It was all grassroots. And she was openly anti-ICE.
Okay. What's her racial background? Latino, right?
She's Definitely, like, Latina. I don't know what her ethnic background is. I don't care. I'm glad she won. For 14 years, this dude has been in office.
Okay.
Dang.
Did you say how old she was?
28.
28?
Mm-hmm.
God damn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
Full abolition of ICE. Full abolition of ICE in her district.
So now I'm wondering, like, what is her college background? I know you said she was a waitress, or a bartender, but now I'm curious. Like, was she studying law, or what was she doing?
Probably. I'm
well,
sure.
Good for her.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, so anyway, so that's why I feel like, despite, like, man, all this messed up bullshit, like, I get the kids move away all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's what happens, part of growing up.
This is different.
But this is different. And it affects me. I went and I spoke out because, like I said, like, it's no different from the Nazis. It's really no different. The children went missing. A lot of children in Auschwitz went missing. What happened to them? Crazy ass experiments. We already know all about that. So it's the same thing. Like, what side? This is your time in history, and I and my children, and that's what I just, whatever you do, people are different. You have different sides. But at least I tried. Like, I'm actively trying to make a difference. Like, sure, like, protests, you can complain about protests. Like, do they even do anything? I really don't care. I just, as long as, like, I'm out here. Just like voting. Your vote doesn't count. I vote to let them know that I'm here voting, that I'm paying attention, that I see what you're doing. And hopefully more, thankfully, thankful to Alexandria. Hopefully she will inspire more. Like, Bernie Sanders and actually Trump has inspired so many people to run for office, and so this is inspirational, and I'm stoked. And things are messed up.
Hopefully she goes in she will go in with an open mind, but hopefully they don't taint her. And
so hopefully this momentum keeps going, and we do see this positive change. Just like I was saying at the beginning of the show, manifesting. Let's focus on the positive.
Right.
Focus on this positive woman, Alexandria, winning despite all odds. More. Let's just focus on more of this goodness, and let's manifest that.
I like that, because I have been feeling pretty bad with all these things going on lately. It's just really internal. I'm internalizing that shit. And it's like, okay, yes, let's think of something positive. I like that. Yeah. It sucks, but motivate somebody else.
Yes, focus on something that's positive in your life. Like, maybe you got extra ketchup and you wanted extra ketchup. Maybe you got that. That's positive. Just focus on something positive. Yeah. And more Alexandrias.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
On that note, I think we're out. Wow. Follow us on Twitter at Mixed Screens Pod, and every other outlet at Mixed Screens Podcast. Our website, Mixed Screens Podcast. In the meantime, listen to us on anything, everything. Subscribe to us. You know, if we do something that's annoying, like, let us know. Maybe we'll work on it. Maybe we won't. Yeah. I don't know. But cheers. Till next time. Namaste.
Yeah.
Peace, love, positive vibes always.
Bye.
Mixed screens don't judge me. It's not what it seems. Mixed